Hey everyone, I'm on my way home from work. It's Wednesday, May 11th, 2022. It's a beautiful day here in Columbus, Ohio, outskirts of Columbus, Ohio. And I haven't done a drive home video in a long time because honestly nobody was watching them, but why not? I'm bored, so what the heck. One thing I've never done is do an intro video to myself for YouTube, and they say you should do that to let people know what your channel's about and everything. So I'm going to use this as an intro video. If you've seen it before, then I do a lot of stuff about Gen X, TV shows, cartoons, movies, things that I like. Still a lot of things I haven't touched on yet. We're just getting going, honestly. I've been doing this since November, and it's slow growth and slow for me learning, what's good and what's bad. But I gotta tell you, I love doing it. I love making the videos about cartoons and just sharing with people, hoping you can bring back some memories of when you were a kid. Time in life when you were carefree and you didn't have all the worries. You didn't have to pay your bills. You didn't have to worry about what was going to happen tomorrow, and or maybe a good time in your life, even if you weren't a kid. Maybe something is going to bring back a time in your life. Maybe it's something you watched with your siblings, or a parent, maybe somebody who's not with us any longer. There's definitely some TV shows and video games and stuff that have that effect for me. So every Saturday, at least I try to every Saturday, post a video about my cartoons. Sometimes it doesn't get up till Sunday afternoon, but I try to on Saturday. And I've started at 1965. I've done the Saturday morning lineup. Last week I did 1987, I believe, 86, 87, I think 86. And so this Saturday we'll be doing another week. And what I do is I take the new cartoons for that fall, and whatever was new that year, I grab the intro to it, try to get a good copy, and grab some commercials that you might have seen on Saturday morning. Maybe some of the bumpers that, after these messages, we'll be right back. That kind of stuff. And I put it together. It's usually about a 15-minute video. And, hopefully you enjoy watching it. I enjoy making it. I've done some TV show intros. I'm hoping to get a little more in depth into TV shows. After I finish I got 10 more weeks approximately of the morning videos. And I'm slowly working on a big video for the year 1984. And I do some videos on The Walking Dead. And I've done a video game, kind of look back at Atari video games. I show some video games. I have an Xbox. I like to play a lot of racing games. I play Mad Max, and most of what I've shown is racing games, but that's mostly what I do there. I really enjoy this, and I enjoy talking, and I envisioned a lot more, but it'll get there. I'd love to do some interviews if I can get some people to do some interviews for me, and talk to people about certain movies and things maybe that they were in. And I'm just not there yet. And even if I did have somebody, I'm not sure that you want to talk to somebody famous, you want to be ready for it. And I'm not sure that I'm there, so I will be. I have faith that I will be. But I live in Columbus, Ohio. I actually live in Galloway, which is in the southwest corner. And I'm from Toledo. I'm actually from a little town called Reno Beach, which is about 20 miles east of Toledo on Lake Erie. And that's where I grew up. country boy, but lived in Columbus for the most part since 2005. Columbus is a great town. I'm a Michigan Wolverines fan, so yes, I live in the heart of Buckeye country. While I can't stand the Buckeyes, I do respect what it does for the town of Columbus. And, these kids play their heart out and win. Ohio State just wins all the time. And they go to the NFL and join the team. They might join your team, so you can't hate the kids. You just, I can't root for the Buckeyes. I can't root for the Dallas Cowboys. Being an Eagles fan, I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan. But I know that players on the Cowboys next year might be playing for us. So, you just root against who you root against and keep your camera from tilting down and being all floppy. It's never good when it's all floppy. You want it to be stiff and stand up straight. But that's another video. Probably not one that I'm going to make. I drive an old piece of shit car, so you can see my stuff hanging down, and but it runs good. It's a great car. It's a 2001 Buick LeSabre. It's got low miles. It runs good. Runs like a raped ape. It's old, Like the Adam Sandler song, piece of shit car. It never gets me very far. Such a piece of shit. Anyways. I can't wait to do my video for this week. Talking about it gets me all excited. When I get it together and get a finished product, I love it. If you have anything you would like to talk about, you'd like me to make a video about, talk about, let me know. I'm going to start doing, like I said, about 2 months TV shows. And if there's a TV show you'd like me to explore in depth, tell me. I won't do Game of Thrones, or Sopranos, but mostly older shows, One of my favorites is Voyagers from the early 80s. I think it was only on for 1 year or 2 years. But it was a fantastic time travel show. And Quantum Leap. I like science fiction. I like comedy. I liked watching The Golden Girls. I liked watching Facts of Life. Amazing Stories. Those are the kind of shows I want to get into in depth and take a look at and just talk about, everything. Amazing Stories was great. If you've never heard of it, if you're younger, NBC put this show on in the early to mid 80s. 84 through 86, I believe. And it was Steven Spielberg produced, and it had all kinds of actors in it, movie actors, not just, regular people, but, the stories were just really awesome. They were not really horror-ish. Again, it was Steven Spielberg, but there was some elements to them that were, different. So that's a show I think I'd really like to look at. Another one is Lost in Space, which is a 60s show. It's actually a boomer generation thing, but growing up in the 80s, man, if you lived in the boonies like I did, you didn't have cable. And you watched whatever you could find, so late 70s through the 80s, you spend your mornings on the weekend or on the summertime watching Beverly Hillbillies and the Brady Bunch and Gilligan, And one of the afternoon ones when I got home from school was Lost in Space. I mean, there's a family and their kid is smart as hell. He helps with all these adventures. And there's a giant robot and a spaceship and aliens and, I mean, how cool of a show was it? It was cheesy. It was cheap looking, you know. The planets all looked the same. But I didn't care. They did a movie in the late 90s. The movie was pretty good. I enjoyed it. And Gary Oldman was Dr. Smith, which was fantastic. And then they did a Netflix series, which just ended last year. And the next, or maybe this year, the Netflix series was really awesome too. It was updated. Dr. Smith was a woman. You know, they changed some stuff around. The robot was really cool. And, you know, so that's probably something I'm going to want to talk about. Compare all the different iterations of Lost in Space. And if there's anything you'd like to discuss, talk about, watch, let me know and I'll do that. I'm going to give a shout out to my zombie crew on Twitter. It's just a great bunch of people having fun, posting stuff about zombies and, you know, really whatever we want, rock and roll music and heavy metal stuff. And, you know, I made so many friends on Twitter. I started it basically to promote YouTube. And, you know, Twitter is way better than Facebook. And there's so many great people on there. I love it. So, I'm getting limp again. I love it, and, you know, I'll give a shout out to Big Frank, Masked Maniac. He makes videos all the time. He posts people or tags people, and, you know, have a good Wednesday and have this. Frank is a fantastic guy, fantastic human being. If you don't follow him, do it. He is at the Masked Maniac or at Masked Maniac. That was his wrestling name. He was a professional wrestler. Talk. And so yeah, do that. And I'm about to get home. I'm gonna go home, see my wife, get me something to eat, and you all have a really good night. Thanks for watching. Thank you for watching all my videos that you do, and for interacting with me on Twitter, and, you know, anything else that we interact and how we do. I appreciate you more than I can say, and just try to have a good night. It's beautiful outside, so have a good one.